Hey everyone, welcome to Medicae's Orders. Trust us, we're doctors.
Just not that kind of doctors.
Hey, I'm Seth the Lorax this week, and I'm joined by my buddies, my partners in crime, my fellow overlords, Francois, Nathan. How are you boys doing?
I'm pretty sure Nathan hasn't actually fallen to the dark side. I think it's just you and me.
I own like 3 Necron models.
See,
To be fair, you only need 2 more and you're good.
True. I'm very close to the list already. I have a Void Dragon, an Amintar, and a Scissorass in my cabinet.
You don't need much more.
I'm almost 25% of the way there. I'm almost 25%, which is saying a lot of things about a lot of things.
Yeah, we'll wait till tomorrow to hear the real data, but Necrons didn't win anything, so everything's fine. Everyone calm down.
Necrons didn't win anything. Actually, it's funny because we removed the team event, but I still see Francois as our undefeated Necron player in the stats.
He doesn't count.
I think team events should count.
He gets
count.
removed.
But him and Anthony, nothing.
I would have so much more ELO if team events counted. Right now, I'm on the 20 straight win streaks at team events.
How have you boys been doing? What have you been up to?
Well, I guess I can start because I have the shortest of these. Also, yes, we're switching to a Monday schedule. If you were a regular watcher / listener of our show,
we have watchers.
You know that last episode.
Yes, I can actually confirm this.
We were changing to every other Monday schedule because Seth or Dr. Robotnik over here in the upper right-hand corner has a different veterinarian position that he needs to actually.
I'm going to be working late on Thursdays, so rather than like screeching at the last minute and being like, "Hey guys, what's up? I just got home. What's up? We doing 40K today?" We thought maybe move it to a day I had off.
True. We unfortunately, Scald, we had to move to a schedule where Seth is not reporting to us live from an operating room.
Yeah, I also teach till 7 on Thursday, so it was a little tight for me too.
But
meanwhile, for me, I was like, whatever.
I'll work on Keith any day.
Oh God, no. I'm learning about wounding mice in order to study them this week, so I have to go do that
with teeth.
Not with
you're
teeth.
biting. You're biting the mice.
Yes, I'm biting the mice. Mm-hmm.
Like Ozzy Osbourne with the bat. That's what you do with mice.
They have to keep the head though because we need to see how they survive through the bite type course.
Oh, what if you spit it out?
That doesn't keep the mouse alive. Francois, do we need to talk?
Francois, stay really much.
Do we need to talk about decapitation?
Stay in your realm of expertise. Let's leave the.
You don't know. Maybe my history story for today will be about the French Revolution.
Maybe.
And how many of them were alive when their head came off?
As far as I know, none of them.
All right, there we go.
All right. Otherwise, I spent the weekend. I went back to D&D. The store that we go to play D&D at reopened after having their floors redone, so we did D&D. Then I spent the weekend assembling Chaos Space Marine models and getting them ready for painting. I decided that the only way to keep my motivation going is to join like an escalation league type thing. So I joined a Crusade escalation league at the game store to keep me moving.
And then
you're just staying on your Crusade villain arc, aren't you?
Yeah, it's not that hard to stay on that
going
arc.
On a villain arc.
I've played Crusade exactly once. I know how weird it can get.
To be fair, I'm playing Chaos Space Marines, not Necrons.
Hey, can you give Necron Catan's enhancements in Crusade?
No, because they're epic. Not maybe the Transcendents can, but the other ones cannot. Because they're epic heroes, so they don't
we
get
have to go play Crusade
points.
now.
All right, I'll go take a look at it. But yeah, like the Chaos Space Marine ones, if you get enough Chaos boons, your guy can ascend to Demon Princedom, which is kind of fun and stuff like that.
Cool, yeah.
You can get demon weapons. It's kind of it's fine. But there's like a hobby score sheet, and I love score sheets for keeping my hobby going. If you can gamify my hobby progress, I'm good at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I assembled a Forge Fiend, which was a beautiful kit to assemble. And then I assembled a Lord Discordant, which was a terrible model to assemble. Getting the little like cleaning the little sprue lines and stuff, like the mold lines and stuff off that model was annoying because he's covered in cables. Yeah. And then I got some Noise Marines ready. I am 3D printing guitars for them, though. So they have guitars and punk rock haircuts to go with their Noise Marine-dom. And I have some Accursed Cultists and a Dark Commune that I'm working on as well. So I'm getting ready to copy just the French list is I think what I'm going to do. I'm just going to copy the French Pyrocup list and then just make people sad and crusade with it. Because there is an enhancement you can give the Dark Commune that gives the whole unit a 4-up invulnerable save.
Oh, no.
Which feels like a very cruel thing to do.
Yeah.
And thus, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm really excited to paint all that stuff and assemble. The assembly is basically done now, so it's just painting, 3D printing bits, and some Black Legion things for vehicles and stuff like that. Because I have a bunch of Loyalist vehicles, and I'm going to cover them with Black Legion insignias, is what I'm going to do.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you, Seth?
Oh,
no.
Francois?
No, Francois. We'll go with Francois first. We'll build to the.
There's
a
good segue into me because I'm also currently working on a Dark Commune. I'm it's
yeah.
still on sprue, but I'm assembling mine because I'm about to turn into a longtime CSM player because I'm already bored of Necrons. And Hurons Marauders sound really, really fun. So this weekend on Saturday, I'm going to an RTT, and I may or may not be fully painted, but that's okay. Battle ready is for the week. I'm going to bring a Hurons Marauder list. And last time I played CSM at an event was, I don't know, like 2 years ago. It's been a minute, so it'll be nice to dust them off.
Are you copying the French Pyrolist so you can play?
I'm playing. I don't know. I don't think they had the 10 Terminator unit. I know that's what Sacco was experimenting with now. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of giant 400 point units. So I'm gonna try the Terminator unit.
We could never have told that.
Yeah. See, this is going to be a nice segue into my weekend, but I like to play as little Warhammer as possible. I get most of my enjoyment from Warhammer events.
So why are you leaving Necrons?
That's okay. That's a fair point. From playing the game in like 45 minutes and then walking around and talking to all my friends, which is exactly what I did this weekend because we had a team event, 5-man teams, 20 teams, so 100 players. It's it sounds like a big team event, and a couple of years ago it would have been a massive one, but now it's the smallest one I'm going to. I don't understand how quickly this exploded. It's kind of crazy, but it was organized by Dan at Red Dragon. We were at the Nepean Sportsplex in a lovely room. Actually, that was a great venue. They really got a nice place for us, and so I went with my usual team, and I was as usual in charge of bringing the latest broken stuff. I highly recommend that role in a team. It's really great. And so I took a Star Shatter list similar to what Anthony was playing at Para. A few differences here and there, but the core of the list is just 3 Catans, the King, and then Season to Taste. And it is the most ridiculous thing in all of Warhammer, in my my educated opinion. I think it's about as good as, I don't know, Leviathan Warriors is probably the last time something felt this stupid. I don't understand how you lose with this list. It's there's a couple of matchups that get swingy, but I spend my entire weekend deploying on the line, pushing the Silent King and the 3 Catans forward very fast, because the Silent King has this great +2 move aura, and so you just put that turn 1, then switch to reroll 1s, and then table people. And I played maybe 4 hours of Warhammer, including my opponent's turn, over 5 games. It was great. I scored 95 of 100 possible diff points.
I think the biggest thing is just that, like, every now and then you'll just underroll your 4-up and roll, and the whole army will vanish. But, like, not very often.
Yeah, it's pretty rare.
I think a couple people do overextend and are a little overconfident with Catan.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking to a local, and they're like, yeah, but my opponent charged me with 20 blood claws, and then the Catan disappeared. I was like, well,
that will happen.
What you do is you put 2 Catan next to each other, and then
or you put the Necrosaur so he fights first, kills half the squad, and then you roll it.
You make a 3-man line. The Necrosaur's on one end.
That's true. The one thing that I've seen people do that can lead to losses is if you spread out too much. If you keep your nice little Silent King castle right in the middle of the board so that it can then react to wherever your opponent is, and they can never meaningfully engage you, you will just win. It's also much easier when you're at a team event and your and your pairings guy just goes, here, play into Emperor's Children, the damage 2 army into the -1 damage army, where that matchup, I just deployed on a line, told my opponent I'm sorry, and immediately started beelining for his home.
Like you do.
Damn.
Yeah, what did I play into? I played into War Dog Spam, EC, GSC, Vanguard Nids, and Eldar. Those are the 5.
War Dog Spam is the only thing that would make me like a little worried if they just had a bunch of the Meltas.
Which one, Eldar?
No, War Dog Spam. If they just had a bunch of
I mean, they kind of did, but I killed them.
Yeah, but it's like it's gonna be swingy. It's gonna be like, hey,
you have to be mindful about the Melta range. As long as you avoid the +4 Melta range, you're fine.
There you go. See?
So you just use the most potent carnivores. Nah, not really. No, they don't do much.
Brian,
because they're damage 3
Brian
with
Jones
their big
is the person who is
the carnivores are D6 plus 2. But again, that's just like an average of 4. Right
and
after the reduction,
and then then you at least make
no, it's 4 after reduction. Then you make 1.5 feel no pains. Then you're like, great, your carnivore charge make a 10. Now I kill you, and I'm still at half wounds.
And then I eat your soul.
Right.
It's pretty much it. Now, to be fair, you do have to use your tape measure and make sure you don't derp your
see, there we go. It's a little more technical than
the truest thing is you got to not derp your way to it. Yes.
Yeah. you
don't want to get. You don't want to get double charged by somebody's lancers with their flat 8 damage.
Yeah, so you have to have an idea of what can kill you and what can't, and you disrespect the stuff that can't, and you tape measure the stuff that can, and because of the Silent King, you go very fast, and it's pretty cool. There was a bar on site, and so I finished my rounds, bought my opponent a beer or 3, played the next round, and it was amazing.
Rinse and repeat.
Pretty much. And there's a child waving a sign at me, so just hold on for a second.
Are they protesting?
They are. They're protesting how they're not getting paid enough to build models.
No, my lovely daughter, who once accidentally ended up on camera, does not want to do that anymore, so she was waving a sign at me that said, "Good night, I'm going to bed."
Well, that's nice. That's nice.
That's cute. That's adorable.
She's giggling and running into her room now.
As she should. That's what she should
do. That was kind of funny. I like that. Yeah, she had this giant sign that said, "I'm going to
a giant sign."
Yeah,
it's pretty big. Yeah,
I was imagining more just like a piece of notebook paper. You know?
Oh no, it's pretty big.
Where did she acquire the large piece of paper?
Can she bring the sign back?
I have children. I have lots of arts and crafts materials in my house.
Okay, fair enough.
I just want us to put the sign behind you, Francois.
Slowly.
We want to know how big the sign is.
Okay. It wasn't a banner or anything, but it was pretty big.
All right, Sweat. Tell us about your sweaty weekend.
Oh, it was a weekend, boys. It was a fucking weekend. I did Cherokee Open, which is like North Carolina in the Great Smoky Mountains. It's like a 5-hour drive for me. So I got in like late. Yeah, I'm gonna take you guys through a saga. There's gonna be lots of stories, minimal amounts of actual 40K stories, mostly just bullshit stories. So just everyone buckle up. We're in for a ride. So get to the Airbnb. We got like 12 people staying in the Airbnb. I made the polite sacrifice, since my wife didn't come, to give up my bedroom to one of the other couples so they could have a bedroom, and then I was sleeping on a couch. It's fine. I go to sleep. Everything's nice and quiet. I wake up at like 6. I'm like, it's a little chilly in here. And you've like ever been to like Airbnbs where they have like the thermostat program to like you turn it up to 70 and it's like, an hour later I'm turning it back down to 60 because I am evil Airbnb oligarch. So I assumed evil Airbnb oligarch could just turn the heat back down, but I wasn't like freezing cold. I was just like, it's a little chilly. And then some of the single guys, there was a bunk room. They start getting up and wandering around. And they're like, hey, bathroom light's not turning on. And then like I'm in like a little like apartment area downstairs. There's like a little fridge, and they like, hey, the fridge, the power had gone out at like 3 a.m. And we were like, oh, that's why it's cold and nothing works and my phone's not charging. Got it. So okie dokie, like get up, and we're like half hour from the venue. And I was like, well, like it's like 7:30 or 8. And I was like, I'm gonna get ready and get going and head over. And I open the door to the Airbnb, and I'm greeted by the distant sounds of chainsaws. And apparently a thunderstorm had come through and knocked a lot of trees down. And we were in the Great Smoky Mountains, which is very hilly. and literally had to drive when I was driving out of the Airbnb. There was a hillside with a tree like this, and there's a little gap underneath that I could just get my car underneath. So, I snuck out underneath the downed tree over the downed power line while the power crew was literally actively cutting the tree up. But I made it out, made it to the venue where then I could charge my phone and get, hot coffee. Because that was important. We were not starting this day without coffee. So if anyone watches War Games Live, a few weeks ago, Joe is streaming a game and someone has some Bulgren on the table, and apparently one of the Bulgren is modeled with a handlebar mustache, and based on the way the guy had painted it, it looked a lot like me. So Joe was like, "Oh my God, Seth, you need to wear a grow on a handlebar mustache." And my wife was like, "Absolutely not. You're not changing your facial hair." So the solution to this problem was to buy a fake handlebar mustache from Amazon and wear it to the event, which I did.
Sorry. I'm like looking for the photo that we had that compares you to the model right now.
Yeah.
It's very funny though. I won't lie.
So
I think our back chat is full of pictures. Of
oh yes.
Various
but this is the mustache. I have retired it after this weekend. Now
it looks like a moth.
It's sort of anyway. It
has
has
your butterfly collector.
This is important. It has like
right.
Some like 3M, like you peel it off and it sticks. And day one, it was fine. It did its job. It stuck on my face. It looked goofy. I believe maybe
everybody's going to get a view of my way too many.
Yeah. Ah!
way too many Discord channels.
Yes.
But here you go.
See? Yes. So I sported the mustache, which multiple people thought was real, including people that were at my Airbnb that saw me the night before without it, which made me really wonder exactly how did you think I grew that overnight?
I think this is my favorite, honestly, is the Lorax and Dr.
Yeah,
Robotnik.
so yeah, there was many comparisons. There was Lorax, Dr. Robotnik. I've seen Jamie Heineman from Mythbusters, Yosemite Sam. Of course, the Bulgrit. Like it just goes on and on and on. Rejects from the Sons of Anarchy, the dad from American Chopper. Just you throw it out there, it's all possible. So anyway,
I'm the one that said you were auditioning for Sons of Anarchy.
It's true. And I was playing Star Shatter, and I got the Francois blessing of round one of a damage 2 army, which was Wind Rider host, which my opponent. Yes, there was many pictures.
I have to share some of them.
so I had an opponent round one that like it was like I think it was like tipping point or hammer anvil, like but the narrow end deployments, and we're on the end of a row. And I get to go first, and I'm like, I'm gonna be a dick, and I'm gonna take the end that's open. And my opponent goes, "That's okay. I just might need you to help my models because I have a broken vertebrae in my back." I was like, "Fuck that! No, you get the good end. I'll go to the bad end. Like I don't have any models."
Also, you're gonna play in his deployment zone the entire time anyway, Seth. What are you thinking?
I know. So it's just like, oh God, I feel bad now. And then he was damage 2 the guns, and I was like, "No, you're not. Your damage 1 the guns." But we had a good time, and then my beginning of close games that shouldn't have been close was like round 2 where I played into Nichum Kim, who had like the Poxwalker spam detachment where like you get free units of Poxwalkers.
Where you just kill all of the free units of Poxwalkers the moment they enter the chat.
Well, see, what he would do is he would rapid ingress them and then charge onto my objectives in my turn. I'm like, God damn it, stop doing that. Or not rapid ingress, just because he couldn't rapid because they don't show up until his command phase in reserve step. So he would just be like, I'm coming in 9 away, and then hit the 9-inch charge onto my objective. I'm like, God damn it, stop it. Anyway, so that was like a narrow win, but it was one of those games where it's like that probably shouldn't have been a narrow win, but he just kept being like, what if I could roll 9s?
You put more than 1 Catan on each objective, and then you're fine.
I did, but I only have 2 Catan, and I have.
Oh well, there's your problem. You need 3.
Yeah, see, well, that's what I was gonna say. I had more than one objective, Francois. So I
Also,
couldn't
our DDA is like 6 OC or something stupid
OC
like that.
5, yes.
Okay.
But if you put 6 poxwalkers on an objective,
Yeah, but what if you put 2 DDAs on an objective set?
it's true. But there's there was a lot more objectives than that.
How many
okay?
objectives do you need? That's very
It was
greedy of you.
terraform. It was terraform. Okay.
Oh,
So you need.
sorry.
So, okay.
Anyway, so train of thought. So
never had a
for
rail
lunch,
in the first place.
yeah. So lunch. This is important for later. They had like, okay food in the hall, but it was cheap and easy. And I had gotten chicken tenders, and with this mustache, chicken tenders were easy to eat.
you put it in a frame.
Yeah, did you not catch that?
We went over this.
I put it in a shadow box, and it lives in infamy.
I heard shadow box, and I was like, "Oh, he put it in a box."
Well, now we
somewhere.
know
Okay,
that
and then
Nathan
discarded
doesn't
it.
look at the screen during the show.
Yes.
Sometimes I don't. Like
So-
when I'm looking at chat.
Fast forward to Sunday, and importantly, I know a bunch of people at this event, so I go to sit. When I get lunch, I go and sit with like Adam Solis, the head judge, because he's just hanging out at that point, like putting stuff on the computer. So I'm like, okay, now I'm not bugging him while he's supposed to be like actively judging. So I'm like, yeah, we're on break. He's like kind of sort of on break. I'm hanging out with my friend. And so I'm sitting at the judge table, and they're all watching me Sunday, and they didn't have chicken tenders on Sunday. And I was still wearing the mustache. And I tried to eat a hamburger.
No.
And it kept taking, when you put the hamburger, it would take the mustache with it.
Mm.
So to combat this, I would take the ends of the mustache,
Put them over the bun like
put
this.
them above my nose, and with one hand hold them together, and with the other hand eat the hamburger.
Is there video evidence of this? And if so,
No.
I need it.
No, there's
We
not.
need to put it in as the cold open or out of this video.
No, there was not. And some might say, well, Seth, why wouldn't you just take the mustache off to eat? Right? It seems like the logical
I would
solution.
ask that
So
question.
after the first day,
Mhm.
I go 3-0, go to dinner with the guys, go back to the Airbnb, get up, go back in. And I get paired into a sisters player, which besides having like the vol unit, he doesn't really have much that can beat me up. So feeling like on paper, I'm like, okay, I think I've played sisters once or twice with this list. I have an idea of what I need to do. And I go first, and I forget what the mission was, but I think it was Purge. I go first, and I draw like assassinate and like no prisoners, and he has like one unit of like those little, I think they're novitiates, that was like basically it was like I can either shoot it with the king indirectly, or I can shoot it with this unit of tomb blades directly. But whichever one shoots, he just pulls the casualty so the other one doesn't get to shoot. And so didn't get any like secondary points, and then like the same thing that like turn 2, and like so like literally 2 turns of just no scoring secondaries. And what is on paper should have been a very good matchup for me. I'm like, fuck, I am behind. What? Mustache back on. We returned the mustache. The cards even themselves out. But the problem was the adhesive. She wasn't holding anymore. She wasn't ready for a second day of chicken tenders and drinking beverages, and may or may not have a little bit of nasal discharge from dry environments. She wasn't ready for this level of trauma. Okay,
God, I hope you super glued it on.
I went the morning of to try to find some like Elmer's glue or anything, and I couldn't find anything in this casino. So yes. There's a gap if you look on my lip between where my normal mustache ends and where my nose begins. There's a small section of skin where I could super glue something without super gluing it to hair. So indeed, I super glued the mustache to my lip.
Damn it, Seth.
Now, rewind. So that's like okay, I do that. At the end, I play a good friend at the end of Sunday or end of Saturday. And I have left this glued on all day Saturday now, and I am like I am nervous to see how this comes off. And I play my buddy Robert Birmingham. He's playing Blades. We have a close game. I win. He's like, okay, good game, man. And I was like, your reward, man. You played the Satan. You played a good game. I need to tear this mustache off, and I'm not doing it myself. So he, you know, being a bro, he's like, all right, real quick, and just, you know, rips it right off, and it fucking hurt. It took nose hairs with that bitch. So when we get to Sunday, and I have now bought into this is my good luck charm, and I super glued it again, and I was not taking that shit off at lunch because I was not re-gluing it after lunch. I was like, no, there's only so much skin left here. Which, fun fact, after I did this on Sunday, the Airbnb also had several of the guys' wives in it, and they're like, you know, you could just go to like Walgreens and get like eyelash glue in the cosmetic section. And I'm like, no, I did not think about eyelash glue.
Well, next time you wear some sort of hair-related prosthetic, you'll know.
Yeah, now I know for future reference and for, you know, future mustache purposes. I know about this. They were like, yeah, why wouldn't you get that stuff? Why are you super gluing this to your skin? By the way, super glue is an exothermic reaction. So when you put it on the mustache, it burns. It burns. And yes. It was like, you know, like my own version of like doing like a smelling salt before a game, just like burn that bitch right to my skin.
Like a dazed boxer.
Also, you're inhaling the fumes as well. Like you're getting a little high.
Ready to roll sixes.
Yeah. Brother.
We need to get you a different mustache for each event now is what we really need to do. We need to find like a variety of different facial hair so we can find the most powerful one for you, Seth.
One night, the first night after I'd taken it off, I was thinking I wasn't going to, you know, use it again. I decided to hide it on Joe's rig. And so I put it on the bottom of one of his point to zoom cameras. So it was wearing the mustache. And Joe, being in the zone, didn't realize until he was turning all his cameras off that night. And then he lost it. He was like, that was fucking great. So now I'm going to quiz you guys. You've seen pictures of the mustache. You've seen the mustache itself.
Yes.
It needs a plaque.
I think I'm going to add like break in case of emergency or something, you know? Yeah, this is the start, okay? There was one FLG employee that was convinced it was real until Sunday morning when I came in Sunday morning without it on, and they were like, oh my God, dude, you shaved. Which FLG employee was convinced that was a real mustache?
I don't know the names of FLG employees, I'm sorry.
Now, is Frankie still an FLG employee?
I mean, he's an owner, yes.
Was he at Cherokee?
He was not.
No. Reese wasn't at Cherokee either.
Reese was. And Reese was convinced it was real.
Reese, yeah.
Reese was convinced it was real. Reese was like, dude, I thought that was like when I was, he's like, you shaved the stash. Why would you do that? And I was like, dude, it's fake. It's on my card. I'm about to glue it back on. And he was like, it's fake? Now, in his defense, my wife did spend a good 5 minutes on Amazon looking for the closest hair color she could find to mine.
The research went into this.
Yeah,
we did the research at the front and none of the research at the middle or end.
No, you researched the mustache, but not a super glue alternative.
Why would I think I would need to wear that for more than one day?
I mean, you should have assumed the bit was going to continue because that's how the universe works.
I have now been asked by multiple of my friends that play Imperial Guard if I will cosplay as an Ogren for them. Which I'm like, I don't even play Guard. I would be dressed as an Ogren playing not Guard. They're like, yeah, it'd be hilarious. I'm like, what?
They have Ogren bodyguards in CSM. There's the Trader Enforcer. Well, I mean, I'm trying to help here.
And now they want me to get a sculpt of myself as an Ogre, and there's a lot of demands. I think the mustache might be a thing in the future. We'll find out.
You need to have a different style every event and a different color also.
I don't know, man. That handlebar.
You should have like a really twirly villain one, but black, and see if people believe that one's real.
Some mustache wax is what it is. We need to get you some wax for the mustache.
If I wear like a fake black mustache and people are like, "Is that real?" I'll be like, "Are you high?"
Listen, I guarantee you, someone's gonna think
somebody will. Yeah. Like I said, we just need to buy you a variety of different styles of mustache.
You know, maybe
you should do a wig.
No.
You went too far, Francois.
Yeah,
you went too far with the wig.
Yeah. Oh, great.
We
Is
gotta
my
work
wife
him up
chiming
to the
in there?
wig. First, we gotta work him up to the wig by getting more and more facial hair varieties until
Okay.
one day.
Mustache, then a beard, then a wig. Got it.
Yes, exactly.
I don't-
We'll get him up to the
no,
wig.
my
just
wife is
not
downstairs
immediately.
texting me.
Does she
And
watch
now-
the show?
No. But she can hear my end of the conversation. And she said,
she's got some input.
she says we can try the black mustache and see how it looks. It's gonna look bad. It's gonna look bad. There's no
It's
way
more
that
funny.
looks normal on me. Do you see how my eyebrows are almost so damn blonde you can't see them?
We can get dye. We can dye your eyebrows.
I'm
different
not
colors.
dyeing
There
my
are- There are
eyebrows.
lots of different things you can
I'm
do.
not
Seth.
dyeing my.
There are some pretty
I was
temporary
gonna
but
offer
good
something, but
dyes.
I'm taking that back. I'm not putting that out into the ether.
No, put it out there, Seth. What do you got? This is the show for it.
This very serious 40K show.
I was gonna say with the right amount of super chatting, I could let chat pick my mustache for.
Well, that
future
sounds
events.
dangerous.
There you
Yes.
go. Now-
To a limit.
now you've put
There's
it
a
out
limit.
there.
There's a limit. There's a limit.
How do you feel?
We don't want to get Seth canceled.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
There is a
only
limit.
criteria. That's the only criteria.
Yeah.
But if you super chat enough to buy it, Seth will wear it.
I got like $10 to buy it. Hold on, time out.
Yeah, you're very liberal with Seth's body there, Nathan.
Yeah, hold on, Nathan.
It's a weekend to Seth's body. Let's not get too excited.
How much do we have to super chat for you to wear a wig for a weekend?
What? A wig?
Yeah.
Man,
Well,
so
yeah,
that's
put it-
fair
here,
enough
here,
for
look,
the
Why
wig.
would he need a wig? He has
I
hair.
have hair, Seth. and I have a beard and a mustache.
Francois,
Yeah.
how much for you to wear a mustache for a weekend?
We get evil Francois for a weekend.
Oh yeah,
probably
I
not
guess
that
we should
much,
explain
actually.
the Sweth part of my name. So
after we figure out, Francois, would you wear a waxed evil mustache to an event over a
It
weekend?
depends what army I'm playing. This weekend, I think it would have been appropriate. Yes.
Okay. It's good to know.
A lot of my opponents, I try to be a pleasant opponent and make it a fun game for both of us. But I'm gonna say, after a 45-minute game where the opponent literally can do nothing, there were a couple of long faces. So I feel like I deserved an evil Francois mustache this weekend. Yes, that army's not okay.
I'm gonna get your address, and you're just gonna find a mustache.
Just gonna get a mustache in the mail.
What if you do what is we're talking about maybe trying to do the Ottawa event or something, all of us?
Oh,
Well,
we all
Matching
Matching mustaches.
sure. We can do it. We'll do
on
it.
top
We can
of
do
your regular mustache.
it.
That's
Wear it on
important.
top of my regular.
A blonde one for Nathan, though.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
gonna hurt so much to take off.
You can
We
dude,
can rig it with like
I
string
pulled
that
skin
ties
and
behind your
nose
head.
hair off. Okay,
That's gonna hurt so much. All right.
just don't use super glue.
We need to do a teams event as well where we also wear mustaches. That's what I'm gonna say. That's what we should do. Come on, Sweat.
Well,
Okay.
Dan is organizing another 5-man team event in July in Ottawa. If you want to do 2 Ottawa
Ooh.
trips,
I mean, I'm not against going to Ottawa. I will get shawarma poutine twice.
that one's going to be big. He says he has room and terrain for up to 50 teams of 5.
two more doctors and do a 5-man team.
Yeah, we need to find 2 more doctors. None of them could be medical doctors, though. Otherwise, that breaks the bid.
One can be a medical doctor. We
Yeah,
can have one. Just one,
Yeah.
though.
I think I know.
And they have to be team captain because that's how MDs are.
No, we should not let them be team captain for that exact reason.
But Seth hates team events, so
It's
Mhm.
true. I am anti-team event.
It's true.
Unless mustaches are involved, apparently.
Seth got real on board the moment we had a theme for the team event.
Oh, and yes, that's a very good point that Valentin is bringing up in chat, it was during the hockey game, was round 4, so we had the hockey game, very sad, up on a giant screen in the back of the room, and most of the games were like interrupted or distracted by the stream. That was when I played Dan, Red Dragon Dan, and his GSC. He scored the most points into me, by the way. He got 3 points out of 20. And during the third period, we just stopped our game, went to watch the hockey, and then came back, and we still finished an hour early.
Yeah, I only had one game go to like even close to time, and that was that Poxwalker game, because it was just like, God damn, they're just not. There's more of them. They just don't want to die.
But Sweat, how did you finish at the end of your event?
I went 6-1. And I, based on how everything shook out, if I had won my last game, I would have won the event. Fair and balanced.
And you only lost it by 2 battle points.
Yes. And I guess this is, like real talk, personal growth, emotional. Bring it in, boys. Bring it in. Mustaches down. Take the mustaches off.
I can't take my mustache off, Seth. I can't.
The last round, I had an opponent that previously him and I had some bad blood. And we had like buried the hatchet a few years ago, but like still like you still don't feel quite, the chill vibe. And I'm not gonna lie, at the end of the game, I'm kung fu kick flipping a Nightbringer around, and just like the Nightbringer killed like 800 points of his army, and it was Tau, and he was just like the Nightbringer was like, put it on my back butt, I got this. And I went first and like taking hold, so he was going to have bottom of turn scoring. And it's like, I run up the score and I do the math, and we do the math before he draws, and he has to get a 15 and 9 points of secondaries to win. 8 or 9. And he draws like, I think he drew defend. No, he drew something that would be like a 2-point secondary and then a 5-point. And I think the 5-point was secure. So he's like, okay, yeah, I can sit on two midfields. You have like 4 models left. I can go get on those 2. And then he drew something that was like a 2-point, and then he redrew it. And then he got
wasn't clearly a 4-pointer.
It was a 4-pointer. Yeah, whatever it was. I can go look, but whatever. He gets a 4-pointer. He did everything he could. I got crappy secondaries last turn where it's like, again, I have like Nightbringer, the King, and like a backfield DDA. And I drew like Cleanse and Overwhelming Force, and I'm like, well, there's only one thing in the midfield that can cleanse. No, there's 2. Like I have Nightbringer and King in the midfield, and I'm like, well, one of them can cleanse and one of them can go kill some crisis suits. And if I kill the crisis suits and the attached commander, that's 5 points. And I had like sabotage, and I was like, well, I'd redraw that, and I got cleanse. I was like, oh shit, worse. So it was not like, in the moment it stung losing by 2 points. And I was salty, and I wanted to go, like, in my head, I was going back being like, it's because this guy is bad guy. And so I wasn't rude or anything, but I didn't like any of my other friends. I lose by, a close game. It's like, hug it out, bro. That was a great game. But like, I didn't do that with this guy, and he ends up going on and winning the event. Like, he wins it all. And I felt bad. And so like, I sat there driving home, and I was like, like going through all the things, and I texted you guys about some interactions, and I was like, that feels shitty, but it really wasn't. Like, it was just a simple, just fight over a measurement. Which, how many times do you like say, hey, there's a real close measurement, can we get a judge? We should have done something like that. So he didn't do anything inappropriate, and eventually I was like, you're just salty because you had a chance at winning it and you lost by 2 points. And so I messaged him, and I was like, hey man, like, I didn't really congratulate you like I should have. Like, I felt I should have. You won it all. You played above board. You were clean. Nothing was suspicious or anything like that. So, I just want to say congrats, and I'll happily, rematch anytime. And I say that honestly, I would happily take a rematch anytime. His main army previous to this was Necrons. I know Tau. So like, I'm like, I can't remember. Like at one point, Imhotep had to like go in and like punch some like crisis suits, and I'm like, I don't even know what Imhotep does in combat. And he's like, it's 4 attacks hitting on 2s, it's 6 neg 3/2 with Dev. And I'm like, oh, thanks, And then he's like, I don't know, does the Piranha have marker lights? I was like, because he had just started Tau, and I was like, no, it doesn't. So like, we knew each other's rules and we're helping each other out. So it was a good game. I enjoyed it. I have the itch now to go back and try to take a head somewhere else and win my event. But that was the best I've ever done. Going 6-0, going into basically the finals of an event was the best performance I've ever had. So I'm happy with the performance, and I'm happy that I recognize, emotionally I wasn't, thrilled in the moment, but it wasn't because of anything my opponent did. It was because, I came that close and came a little short. I didn't roll enough 4-ups.
Well, that's, good. Very few people, in my experience, are capable of that kind of introspection. So that's good on you, Seth.
Well, thank you.
Yep. Most people would not have introspected that well.
Yeah, that's and that's like I had the car ride home was like 4 hours. I had that to the other thing was it was snowing in Cherokee. So when I was like, okay, I didn't win, cool, fantastic, in the fucking car, let's get out of here. Because the roads around here are not, it's all hills and it's the South. This is going to be bad. All right, I'm getting out of here. I don't know which way this is going. Ended up just kind of just nothing really stuck on the ground, which was good. But I was like, I'm not waiting to find out, because once I find out it's sticking, yes, my car has all-wheel drive, but that doesn't mean everyone's cars have
all-wheel drive is really good for going, but does nothing for stopping.
Exactly.
So it's not actually going to help you in those conditions.
Yeah, I was like, I just need to be out of here. So it ended up being that I got home a few hours earlier because because Necron games go quick. The round ended at 5:30. I think we were done by 4.
Yeah, I'm not actually kidding when I say I played maybe 4 hours of Warhammer in 5 rounds.
Yeah.
That includes my opponent's turns. This
I literally was able to go find all my teammates at their tables, be like, hey bro, see ya, okay, bye. They were all still playing.
I had a buddy of mine this weekend say that he saw me walking around more than playing. And yeah, that's accurate. I got 10,000 steps in on the Saturday.
So one of the Airbnb roommate wives, Kat, she sort of is the 40K mom of us all. She comes around and checks on everyone at the venue, which is nice. Like, hey, how you doing? You need anything? And after the first day, she's like, are you playing in the event? And I was like, yeah, what do you mean? She's like, I looked, I could never find you. And she's like, and you're big. And I was like, well, it's because my games were fast. She didn't see me playing a game until Sunday morning. I have been looking for you.
More true of any indicator of our Necrons a problem is I never got found playing 40K.
Basically, yeah.
My round 3 on Saturday, I'm playing against Eldar, and I just shove everything in his face. And then it's turn 2, and I have 2 Catans and the Silent King in his deployment zone. He had killed 1 Catan, but there were 2 more, and the Silent King and the Necrosaur in his deployment zone. So he looks at the board and goes, I don't think I want to play anymore. So we went to the bar, which by the way was attached to the curling rink in that Sportsplex, and we had a lot of time to watch curling and have some beers.
I guess to my opponent's credit, no one was like, I concede, let's just be done. They were like, I'm going to play it out. And I'm like, okay.
I always try to read my opponent's nonverbal communication in those situations. There have been a couple times where I've put my opponent in a very precarious situation, and I've been like, look, how are you doing? And if they are good, then we keep going. And if they're not, we stop. That was how one game.
I've always found that's awkward. You're like, because you don't want to be a dick. Be like, hey, are you feeling okay? Because I'm kicking the shit out of you.
Look, sometimes you just gotta though. I've had a couple of opponents who've looked real salty. I'm like, look, do you want to stop for a second? And we can figure out what we're gonna do. And
I usually tell them if they're not having fun anymore, we don't have to keep going. And then sometimes, a lot of the time, they take me up on it and they go, no, you're right. Let's just talk this out.
In my last GT, there was a guard player who I buried in 30 possessed. And I was like, he had bounced and all of his stuff was in front of me. And I was like, do you want me to do this? And then he was like, no, it's okay. And I was like, excellent, we don't need to do this.
Usually at a team event, I would always advocate for let's keep going. But in that specific situation, I was about to literally kill 14 Eldar units in a turn. So
there are some times where both players can read, and sometimes the opponent's just looking for a relatively gentle way out so that they don't have to spend another 45 minutes.
I would imagine also in a team scenario, you feel like you shouldn't, be like, hey man, can we just talk? Because you're supposed to scrap for every point.
Yes.
It
Versus, like,
depends.
Sometimes there is literally nothing you can do.
This is true.
You can just be dead.
Yep.
Like that can happen. Sometimes the tide goes so hard that it's like I could scrap for a differential point at best, and that's not fun for either of you because that's you being like, I'm going to spend 2 hours slowly measuring every movement and seeing what cards I draw.
And like I said, Necrons are absurd.
Mhm.
I don't even know what to say about it. I don't feel like I expressed much skill at all this weekend. All 5 games, I mostly just blobbed my ball of death and walked in into middle, looked at my opponent and said, "What are you going to do about it?"
Yep. That is a very similar. I will say my DDAs, as much as you hate DDAs, they did good work.
Oh, I maintain the DDAs are terrible, but
I've enjoyed. I'm a DDA enjoyer. Now, that's far too much 40K discussion. Let's talk about something else.
We're going to talk about. What are we going to talk about?
So, I may or may not, hypothetically, for legal reasons, have gone to a dispensary while I was in North Carolina, and I want you to come along with me on this journey.
On this hypothetical journey.
Hypothetically, if it's legal on the reservation in Cherokee because that particular casino is on an Indian reservation, hypothetically, I asked. I'm checking right now to see if this. Yep. Hypothetically, I asked someone who chatted earlier in the episode if they knew about any dispensaries in the area.
Yeah.
And hypothetically,
that's got to be Floof, right?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Hypothetically, Floof lives on the West Coast. So,
I don't know. Maybe
I see this person. I know them. They come over. I'm like, hey, you seem like you partake. My wife and I are trying this. I can't smoke because of asthma. This seems like, go to a place that sells correctly made gummies or cookies, get something like that. I call this individual over and he's like, actually, I don't know. And then the guy at the table over is like, actually, I know. And he's like, 5 minutes up the road, there's a place called the Great Smoky Cannabis Corporation. And I'm like, my round gets done early. I have time. Let's check this out. I hypothetically drive there. I keep sticking hypothetically. I feel like that covers me legally in case anything. I don't know.
That bit's getting real thin, but keep going.
Hypothetically, I got this very specific brand at this price on this day, but just hypothetically.
So to be clear, I have no experience with any of this. So it's like I am, the newborn babe wandering into the wild. It's like I don't know what's going on. So I go to this location, and you go in, and there's like a waiting area that looks sort of like DMV with like lines and whatnot, and there's no one there really. But it's like they're like, you need to show ID, and I was like, okay, this makes sense. Yes, here's my ID. They scan it in the computer. They're like, all right, you're good to go. And they're like, you can go into the showroom now. Yes, I call it a showroom. Okay. But before you do, there are ATMs that is cash only. Go to try to get money out of the ATM. My card's not working. I'm like, what the fuck? I check my bank account. I have plenty of money in the bank account. I'm like, what the? So eventually, I figured the machine was weird. It was not taking out of my checking, but when I told it to take it out of my savings, it was like, yeah, we got that money. And I was like, okay, whatever. So go into the showroom, which the best way to describe it is the Apple showroom of weed. If you've been to an Apple store where you just wait at like the hostess station for them to call your name, and there's like one of 20 salesmen all with like identical setups of all the products. So they call you over and you're like, okay, explain to the man what I'm looking for. He goes through his options. I pick I think I would like this one and this one. And he puts it onto his little iPad and goes, bloop, bloop. He's like, okay, so now you have to go over to the other side of the store to station number 3, which has a big 3 on it because apparently stoners need really fucking simple signs.
It's not just stoners.
So you go to the station 3 and you wait until your name pops up on the TV, and then you go to the cashier to pay them.
Mhm.
So I go to pay the cashier, and they're like, "Do you have the bag?" What is the bag? It is apparently a special bag that you must have to place the product in while within the store. And I was like, "No." They're like, "Well, the bag is $1." I'm like, "Okay, here's the $1 for the bag. Can I have my purchase now?" "No. You must go to the station number 4 where you present your receipt, and they will get your bag and put your product in and then seal your bag, and you may leave the store."
This is a very American story.
Now,
I mean, this is
You would
also a very story for where he was.
boys, the punchline ain't even here yet, so just hold on. So you would assume, okay, this bag is special bag, is like it's sealed. I can't open in the store. No, it's just a fancy Ziploc bag, okay, with their branding on it. Whatever. Okay. So you're like, get in the car. And I'm like, man, this feels like a lot. Like this feels like, so there's got to be some laws or liability that you have 4 different people involved in the sale of what is essentially a retail product that could be sold, by one person. One person could check the ID. One person could, show you the product from behind a counter, take your money and give you the, like, why are there so many steps? The store, puts a little thing in the bag of like, hey, come back next time. And they advertise that you could order online and pick up through their drive-through.
Yeah. So
I'm like, so why was there 4 steps inside and I had to pay with cash if I could go online and give you my credit card and not even leave my car? And
Again, that's a very American story. They have
in
drive-through liquor
Chicago.
stores in some states.
So in Chicago, you don't have 90% of those steps anymore. Like, I can walk into a store, I give them an ID,
Hypothetically,
they give me stuff. Hypothetically, they give me bag of things I want. When it first started in Chicago, you did have kind of that multi-layered setup because there was a lot of medicinal dispensaries converted into retail dispensaries, hypothetically. But now you can order online. You could hypothetically go pick it up after hypothetically ordering it online. You can but this is a difference between the South and the North here is a little bit.
Yeah, it was just like, I was
like in Chicago is not even as crazy as you can get hypothetically in California, where they just probably sell it in gas stations.
Yeah.
But also some bank providers won't give you credit, and that's a DEA, like war on drugs relic. You can do it for some stuff in like Chicago and places like that, but depends on what you're doing and if you're in the hemp network or you're buying pot, hypothetically.
Okay, now we're way too much in the weeds, pun intended. But I have a very fun story about Warhammer and weed that I'm going to tell now.
Mm-hmm.
2 very good friends of mine, one of whom I will not name for legal reasons, are involved in this story. The other is Chris Haynes, government employee and very serious man, captain of WTC Team Canada at the time.
Let's not overstretch how serious Chris is.
The unnamed friend is walking into the RTT with a plate of cookies, and he goes around and offers Chris a cookie and goes, "Would you like a cookie?" Chris, like a normal human being, goes, "I would love a cookie." Grabs the cookie, goes to bite into it, smells a distinct but slightly suspicious smell, and goes, "Are these cookies weed cookies?" The other friend goes, "Oh yeah, I should probably tell people that."
Talk about a new level of challenge in a tournament.
Man, I'm gonna have like 5 of these cookies. Is that okay? And then like in the second round, you're just on the floor, starfish out.
Yeah, so thankfully that crisis was avoided, but that was a rather close call.
Yeah, that would have been
hypothetically.
Well, that story is 100% through. There's no hypotheticals about it.
Anyway,
Seth, did you finish a book?
Oh no, we didn't say what Sweat was either.
Oh, we didn't. So we should explain Sweat first.
So the first morning when, like I said, like no power at the house, nothing. So I was like, all right, I'm going. And the casino, I've been there a few years in a row. It's at the same casino, and so I know like, oh yeah, there's a Starbucks in the lobby. Cool. I'll get my coffee there. Show up, Go in, order my coffee. They're like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Seth, S-E-T-H." They're like, "Okay." And I'm sitting at my table waiting for coffee. They call my name, and the person who is like making the coffee is not the same as the register. So they make the coffee. They walk to the area where they call your name, and they look at the label, and they go, "Sweat," and they put it down, and I like there's a lot of people there, and so I was like, and I banged my desk there. I'm like, I roughly knew where I was kind of in the order of people. So I was like, it should have been me. No one else is moving. So I walk up and I pick the cup up, and it is my order, and it is spelled S-W-T-H.
Well, on a keyboard, the W key is right next to the E key. So
it is, but I just enjoyed the barista like sitting there trying to figure out, how do I say this?
Now, I don't know if they typed this on an actual QWERTY keyboard, but if they do, that's an understandable mistake.
Yeah. Honestly, I just assumed it was because Seth was wearing the mustache and looked like evil Seth.
I was not wearing the mustache at that point.
But
I did not don the mustache.
Seth is now evil Seth's name.
Yeah, that is my evil alter ego is Seth. if I'm at a tournament and introduce myself as Seth, it's game on, boys.
Oh, God.
You gotta watch out.
You're gonna have the worst game of your life. Make sure to double check his tape measure.
I
All
did have
Seth's
a few
models
viewers,
are on the wrong base size.
I did run into a few viewers there. It was good to meet some folks that had seen the new show. In fact, I think my round 6 opponent was like, "Yeah, I've been watching since the first episode." I was like, "Holy shit!" He was also running
we're only 7 episodes.
I know, but I didn't think anyone watched the show.
That's like 6 more than I thought anyone would stick with us for.
Exactly. He was running this weird list. It was like 3 Disco Lords at Vashtor, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Turns out he was just like, "What are you doing?" He was just like, "What if I just ran at you as fast as possible?" And I was like, "Fair."
50% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah, well, got him 6 rounds.
That's it. Nathan, what are the odds of a coin flip coming up heads 6 times in a row?
What?
You're the stat. It's the stat in your name. I'm Sweat the Lorax. He's Francois. You're stat dad.
Just 1/2 to the power 6, fucker.
Right. Well, that's the best kind of correct, but it doesn't help me.
I think we got our first official review. It's decent second monitor content.
That's actually a pretty high compliment. I'll take it.
I want to make a thumbnail of those kinds of comments is what I want to do. Yeah. When I have a minute.
I'm too old to focus on 2 different things at once now.
That's true.
Damn. Wow. I mean, to be fair, you were also like what? Completely beaten out by your son at this point at a video game.
I was telling the story in our pre-show little chat. My son is a completionist in video games now, apparently, and he's trying to 100% or apparently 112%, because that's how far it goes, Hollow Knight. And I just remember trying that game out, finding it way too hard for my taste, getting frustrated, and not playing it anymore. So yeah, I can just be put out to pasture.
No, you just play Necrons.
Oh yeah, well that's easy.
Go to the fewer moving parts.
We're back to I like to play as little Warhammer as possible.
Smooth.
22 unit Eldar army. That's too complicated for me. I just need to
starts to get tired. He needs a nap. Like if you give him too many units, he gets tired.
A good friend of mine, that I will not name because I'm still not sure if it was a compliment or an insult, but I'll choose to take it as a compliment, said that I was really, really good at playing the first 3 turns of Warhammer, but then by turn 4, I get bored. So I need those like really smooth brain rush armies because if I can win by turn 3, I'm really, really good at the game.
Never have I heard a diagnosis of ADHD said so politely.
if it goes to turn 5, I'm in trouble.
Francois, have you considered trying Monka Tau? Or you just you only have a detachment rule for 3 turns.
I need melee. I cannot do Tau.
They just made melee Tau dudes today.
They got guns.
Did they?
They did. They shoot guns in combat.
Yes.
They took Cypher's ability to fire his guns.
The Tau finally figured that one out. They were like, "Shit, we've been doing this the whole time."
But
the funniest part of it is those models are holding the pistol. They hold an actual battlesuit sized pistol.
So battle, like when you look at the battlesuit models, like they have like robot arms with robot hands, but they're always like slap the gun on my forearm, and these guys are like, what if
I use that hand to hold a gun.
You guys have seen an Invictor warsuit before, right? It's literally holding a heavy bolter as a pistol.
But that's Imperium, okay, bud? Imperium doesn't like here's a hand with a gun. They're like cut the hand off, stick gun on stump. Woo.
To be fair, Scald, they don't need the pistol keyword. They are vehicles.
Also, just to be clear,
there's a lot of things in Warhammer that have words.
But no, importantly, the pistol, the gun that is literally named a pistol doesn't have the pistol keyword on the data sheet.
It's too big to be an actual pistol.
The assault cannon doesn't have the assault keyword either.
Yep. Or a cannon keyword. Doesn't have blast.
That's true.
It should. That's cannon.
You know my favorite thing that doesn't have blast that everyone's like, wait, what? The Nightbringer's Gaze of Death.
Look,
like, I'm gonna shoot that.
You got a Neff keyword, Seth. You don't need more of them.
No, they're like people in combat. I was like, I'm gonna glare at you now, and they're like, what do you mean? And they're like, his gaze isn't blast. He's gonna shoot it into combat, and they're like, oh.
I actually they previewed the Twin Lances data sheet today in case people aren't reading into.
Look, if you want the hard fucking news, that's tomorrow.
But I won't lie.
You're watching the wrong show.
That data sheet, I was like, that is too fucking cool, and the models look great. I'm like, fuck, I can't do this, guys. Leave me alone.
Nathan.
No more. No, Seth. Unless you're gonna send me a Tau army in the mail, Seth.
I have one that you could borrow.
Fuck. No.
Although to be fair, I might pick it up because I'm bored with Necrons. And nerfs are coming. If nerfs aren't coming, folks, I'm real sorry that I didn't win the event and drag the event win numbers down.
Seth, they won 30% of events this
There's no way that Necron nerfs are not coming.
There's no way. I've already been doing the stats today. They won 30% of events from the weekend. There's nothing.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's not fine, Seth.
30% of the player population, right? Right.
No.
Oh! Oh crap! That's not good then. Okay, yeah, nerf him. By the way, I have a Votan army and a Tau army and a Orc army and a Space Marine army. All just sitting there waiting.
Out of the 20 teams at my event this weekend, 16 had Necrons.
Did the other 4 just not want to play games?
There's a lot of people go to team events just to have fun, Seth. I know that's a foreign concept to you and me, but.
Just gluing this on my face all weekend sounds like someone who's not there for fun.
Different reasons, Seth. Different reasons.
But yes, 4 teams did not have Necrons. But the last time I saw representation that high as at a team event, I don't even know when it was. It's ludicrous. And even in singles, they're like 10% of the meta.
Didn't like every at Pyra have them? No, one team.
All but one. Germany didn't take them.
How'd the Germans?
Yeah, well, let's just say that Pyra and my little 5-man Ottawa team events are not exactly the same.
Nope, exactly the same. All teams are the same.
Pyra, only one team didn't have them, and it was Germany. And I think Germany did not do very well at the end of the event. But Pyra's
therefore Necrons. Good.
Perfectly fair and balanced.
Germany finished 5th. Here you go.
There you go. See, yeah. Germany didn't have a Necron player because their Necron player couldn't attend. So it wasn't from lack of trying.
Wait. No. You don't need a Necron player.
You just need a warm body.
You just need someone who's heard of Warhammer before. I'm not even sure they need to have played Warhammer before.
Are you implying that my run was not from skill and it was from mustache luck and 4?
No. Listen, as I told a lot of people this weekend, a lot of Necron players lost a lot of games, so you do need to know how to play the game.
All I'm saying is that they had a perfectly good player on Orcs who could have just as easily played Necrons.
If you can play Orcs, you can play Necrons.
Just putting it. Obviously, Seth also represents that.
I thought you were doing that bit on purpose.
No, there was a purposeful. Yes, that was
okay.
Purposeful.
It wasn't a happy accident.
Yeah, I did write like a Cursed Legion list, and I was like, that's too many units.
Don't do that, Seth.
There's so many bodies. That's too many.
Play the good thing, Seth. Just play it.
I'm just thinking ahead. I'm thinking ahead. Okay, man.
You're still going to be play Awakened with 1 Catan once they nerf them. It's going to be great.
as I told somebody today who was like, I don't know if I want to play custodians because they might be nerfed in a week or two. I'm like, just play for the meta and practice for the meta you have.
Can't I
Don't
just play
practice
for the
for the
fun of
meta
the
that
game?
doesn't exist.
Can't I just experiment for the fun of the game, Nathan?
No.
I'm not allowed to have fun?
No.
I played Cursed Legion. It was fun. It
You
wasn't
must-
as good as
under
the
the
other
mustache.
things.
Off, Nathan. I'm allowed to have fun now.
Fuck. Damn it. I forgot.
When the mustache comes back, and to be clear, I already mentally in my head I have a few events that I've decided the mustache will be redeployed if I need to.
You've already bought 5 more of those mustaches, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
We're
because I
just
don't know
gonna
what
mail.
style.
I'm gonna mail Sweat a random mustache. That's he's gonna mail both of you mustaches. That's what I've decided.
Yes. Well, yes, I did finish a book. To your previous question, Nathan.
Just all the way back again.
So on the way up and back, I had already started listening to it, but I finished listening to the second Dungeon Crawler Carl book. And then Sunday, because the gods had blessed me, Audible put the remaining books on sale for like $5 a piece, and I was like, yes. So I have all of them now. But it was a very enjoyable, little jaunt. They introduced another character to the party whose name is escaping me now because she was barely in the book. But she's like the clay person that can like sculpt.
Ah, yes. Yeah, she's your third main character. Yes.
Well, I figured she was going to be sticking around, but it was just like
just put it out there.
Yeah, I'm like she was very much like I am technically in the last third of this book. It's a good time. My love of a donut continues to grow. I ordered a I Am Yelling Carl donut t-shirt because I just love donut. I love donut and I like Mongo. Mongo, if I could have a Mongo, I would.
Yes, actually, Mongo is very you.
Mongo is great. Sweat is a bird doctor, both for dinosaurs and birds. Yes.
Well,
True.
birds are dinosaurs.
They are. They are.
Yeah.
But yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Continue to enjoy it. Continue to not feel dirty like I did listening to Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon.
I read Dominion of Blades, which is another Matt Dinniman book, and it is the least weird of all of them. Like it is just a generic fantasy novel set in a video game world.
Okay,
I was very surprised at the end of it. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Which order did he
this
write
guy
it in?
can write normal books? Weird.
Wait, which order did he write it? Did he start like Dominion and then go Kaiju and then was like, "Oh, that's too far"?
No,
and then brought it
Kaiju
back?
came out before Dominion, and so did Dungeon Crawler Carl, I believe.
So he's experimented with styles and he's kind of hit like, okay, just stay in the Dungeon Crawler level of
So,
foot
like,
fetish.
It was a fine book. Like Dominion, it had like some of his weird shit because there's like a level of weird shit that wasn't quite as weird as Dungeon Crawler Carl, and definitely wasn't as weird as Kaiju Surgeon.
Yeah. He just had to experiment, Kaiju was experimental phase.
Yeah, some kind of experimental phase. But Dominion was fine.
Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon was daddy issues, the book, I think.
Yeah. I think
Mommy
Dungeon
issues.
Crawler Carl is also Daddy Issues, the book series, but that's just me.
Oh yeah, there was definitely. I think I messaged you guys where it was like he was talking about some childhood trauma, and I was like, I was not ready for that. Thanks.
Oh, it gets worse.
Thanks. I wasn't really particularly looking forward to the childhood trauma, but thanks a lot, Matt Dinniman.
There's going to be more.
Good.
Yeah, there's more
All
for you.
fine. Cool. We'll just throw that in randomly. I'll be laughing at Donut being hilarious, and then be like, "Oh, by the way,
While
this Dragon."
weeping to the side.
Yeah. Oh God. My therapist is for. She's fixing all that shit.
Yeah, I think we've learned that the next shirt for Seth is just going to be Daddy Issues on the front. Is apparently it. There you go.
Daddy issues and mustache rides.
There's a lot that we're going to take from the costume from this weekend.
All right, I don't think we can top that. Let's go. The show's done.
Oh no, I didn't even give you the worst stories.
Oh damn!
Oh, there's
You got
more?
stories.
Oh my God. Francois, you go wear a fake handlebar mustache at your event all weekend, and you're gonna come back with some stories, okay? So at one point, Joe, our lovely host of War Games Live, decides he wants to dress me up.
He already did.
While wearing the mustache, he's like, wear this flannel shirt and button only the top button, which is mildly racist. And then he was like,
a little.
and then his chat was like, get him to wear some shorts with some long white socks. And I was like, no, guys, we're not doing this. There is a line.
The logistics of sourcing shorts and socks that would fit you intriguing.
Well, I had shorts back at the Airbnb, but I did not have long socks. But that's a different discussion. So I'm like, this feels like I've crossed a line. I am, portraying a racial stereotype. This is wrong. And I explained that I have said no, that I will not do this to my friend Adam Solis, who is himself Mexican. And he looks at me and he says, don't worry, Seth, I'll jump you in. Your gang name will be El Blanco. You can dress like that.
That doesn't feel like...
I'm not sure you're making it better here.
Any of the problems.
It doesn't. But I also picked up another name, El Blanco, which is my Mexican street gang name.
That's like somebody saying, yeah, your new Spanish nickname is Pincho Gringo or something like that.
Look, I'm not saying it's a good nickname. I know what it means, okay? I'm not saying it's good. It's just another piece of lore for me. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking you guys got to try the mustache and see how it goes.
Seth, I have a mustache.
No. It's got to be a fake one. I know you have a mustache. I watch the show while we do it, unlike you.
God damn it, Seth.
I think we broke Francois. He's just red and out of the screen.
To be fair, I like the parallel because I watched you turn more and more red as you were telling various stories, and now Francois can join.
We have very expressive skin, apparently.
Yes.
This is why my camera is set to go orange and white so that nobody can tell.
The segment where nothing makes sense anymore. Did anything ever make sense on this show?
No. This show is the can't stop, won't stop.
Yes. Yes. Do you want to do plugs and then questions?
Look, folks, if you're watching this show and you enjoy competitive content on the side,
we're the main attraction. The competitives on the side. Got it. I love it.
There's a bunch of other shows on the network. Enter the Matrix for teams if you don't hate them like Seth does. They just covered Pyra last week before Pyra, and then they'll probably recap Pyra whenever they get around to recording another episode. We have beaten them in the number of episodes we've recorded. Change casts, which is very funny. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Standard will be the main show, which is StatCheck, which will be me and Innes, because I think Anthony is stuck in cold weather purgatory because they shut down the East Coast.
Yeah, there's some, snow Mageddon.
Something like 18 to 24 inches of snow in New York City or something like that.
Get a flamethrower. Global warming.
I mean, it's been very funny watching people try to flamethrower ice and then being surprised when ice doesn't melt right away because of the laws of thermodynamics. But I don't have time to It's like I don't have time to explain basic thermodynamic principles to you right now, guys.
You went on.
All right. It's a different show. Not this one.
I mean, Francois hasn't even gotten a history fact in. You could do thermodynamics.
True. Francois, while I pull up the questions, what is your history fact for the day?
I was talking about JFK today in my media and politics class, and the students were very amused to find out that he was high a lot of the time. He had a Dr. Feelgood position. But that's because his back was fucked up from the war, and so he was in pain a lot. I don't know why I'm thinking about drugs all of a sudden.
I don't know. Man, I wonder why. Apparently, somebody wants to hear a full French Enter the Matrix episode with Francois instead of Brian.
Only if we do it in French.
The funniest part of that is like none of the three people involved are French.
Wait, what was the French thing that made Francois upset last time?
Oh, that he's not French.
Oh, yes. So you got to be specific about these things.
He did help me with getting French translated today when I was frustrated.
Yes, we were translating French detachment names today.
Yeah, I looked at the group chat and there was like 30. I was like, what the fuck is going
Yes,
on? Like
Liam is Belgian, Nassim is Algerian, and I am Quebecois. So no actual French people.
No French people, just
only French
colonies.
speakers.
Just colonies.
I mean,
I'm sure there's a history fact in there
well,
somewhere.
Don't say that to the Belgians.
I don't think it's wrong. Just gonna put that out there. All right. We were all really rooting for Seth. We wanted Sweat to win.
We all did, even me.
Especially you. You could taste it.
He was 2 points away from 2 points.
I was in the private chat when you were this close to victory.
If not French, why name Francois? Well, we're going to talk about we're going to switch to a history podcast now.
Back when I was researching the French Foreign Ministry archives, I had a lovely security guard because it was in the French Foreign Ministry, so you had to show ID and like go through a metal detector and all that. And so at the time, I lived in Boston, so I had a Massachusetts driver's license. And so for my ID, I wasn't carrying my passport with me every day, so I hand the lovely security guard my Massachusetts driver's license. Looks at it, looks at me, and goes, "You speak really great French for an American," which is the worst I've ever been insulted, I think. My name is literally François Lalonde.
Look,
that's an odd
I've
name
been
for
told
an
as an American. No, I'm not going to go any further than what I was just about to. All right, we're going to go to questions. If you want to ask questions, you can join our Patreon. Or sometimes if we feel, peppy, we'll pull some from chat.
Peppy.
But there are a lot of questions this week, which is very funny, actually. Lucas asks, how many badges did you both collect on your Catan Pokemon adventure?
What do they mean by badge?
I don't know. How many?
I mean, I beat 5 people.
Yeah, I mean,
I
guess I got
5
6
different
badges.
factions.
6 badges.
5 different factions. Were they all different? Yours, Seth?
Eldar, Death Guard, Custodes, Sisters, Space Marines, CSM, Tau. Yes. So I got 6 different factions, and then I lost the Tau.
I guess that makes 10 for me because at the GT a couple weeks
yes.
prior, I got Guard, Custodes, Space Wolves.
I guess I got 3 more from the weekend before that at the RTT, I guess.
That's not a competition, but if it were, I'd be winning.
Where's your mustache?
Francois really, really, really angling for a mustache to arrive in the mail.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have to explain this to my wife.
Honey, why do we have a package from Air with a mustache in it?
Well, I know what I'm doing to them tomorrow.
Hey, Francois, DM me your address for no reason. Okay,
yeah, just put both you and Seth should put your addresses in the backstage chat for no reason. The next question is from Joel, which is, what is your go-to cocktail / drink?
This weekend, I was at a bar next to a curling rink, so the selections were limited. But as the good 44-year-old dad that I am, I just had the one IPA that was on tap.
I don't drink alcohol, so just caffeinated beverages of various types.
What's your favorite flavor of Monster energy drink?
Is there?
I got a watermelon one in Belgium.
That took you way too long, by the way.
I got a watermelon one when I was in Belgium. It was pretty good.
Nice. I don't know. I like to drink whatever local thing people tend to like in whatever place I go.
What was the terrible alcohol you had me drink in Belgium?
Oh, that was Malort.
That was awful.
I even knew that.
Malort is great.
Yeah,
it was very funny because, oh man, somebody else on Team Canada fell in love with it, and I gave them like 4 bottles before the end. Malort is good. I'm not trying to trick you.
No,
it's
it
just very
wasn't.
medicinal.
Yeah, medicinal.
Nothing ever has tasted good in your life.
Those-
It started with it's very
Yeah,
medicinal.
those words do not go together, Nathan.
Eh,
If
maybe my
someone
standards
says,
aren't
"Here's
so
I
high."
made you a tea, it's medicinal," you are about to drink the bitterest bullshit ever.
I mean, Malort, here's your history fact from Chicago. Malort was the beverage people used to get around Prohibition because it was medicinal.
And it probably tasted like shit, and that was the only thing they could drink, so they drank it.
Oh, here's my
It's
history. My
herbaceous.
history story for the day. When Churchill visited the United States during Prohibition, he carried around a note from his doctor. It was a prescription for alcohol, which makes sense because Churchill was a functioning alcoholic, and if you stop drinking alcohol in a situation, you die. But the prescription under quantity just said as much as necessary. Now, I'm not 100% sure that story is true, but it sounds good, so I'll tell it anyway.
YouTube rejected my own comment. God damn it. God damn it. All right, fine.
Are you
Go back
drunk
to-
running stream now? On
I said,
Malort?
whoa. I haven't had any alcohol today, actually. Just tea.
Did you say that like it's a shock?
Is it medicinal tea?
No, it was just breakfast tea.
Breakfast tea?
Breakfast tea.
Oh, you're
breakfast.
the kind of sick person that microwaves their tea. I remember now.
I have a kettle right behind my head. See, Irish breakfast tea.
Okay.
I mean, if someone told me they had an Irish breakfast, to me it would seem like it would involve whiskey, but that's a different discussion.
You should try cream of Earl Grey. That's my tea of choice.
My wife goes with Lady Grey a lot.
Yeah. It's a different accent, basically, is the difference.
All right.
Next one. From Carl. Actually, sorry, I forgot Traum. Is there an archetype of army that you could never see yourself playing no matter how good it is?
Craft rolled out our
For
Tau.
Francois, it's clearly hordes.
Actually, no. I've gaslit myself into playing hordes multiple times. I had like a 6-month period where I played horde Tyranids. Did pretty well with it, but it was a horrible mistake. I tried 120 racks once when that was a thing. I regretted my life's choices tremendously that day. But I have multiple times played hordes. No, Tau, because I need melee in my life.
Have you
There's nothing I
considered
won't play.
No, 120 racks was a thing, and I still have them in my basement. You can't play them anymore because it maxes at 60. But
you
here
could
we
have
are.
2 armies of racks?
there were most
you
of
might
them were
you
3D
might say
prints.
you could have racks on racks.
You could have racks on racks on racks. Yes. All right. Carl asks, I've recently learned of the amusing story of the captain of Copenhagen, Wilhelm Voigt, and it made me wonder if Francois knows any other such historical examples of real-life comedy.
Well, I'm ashamed to say I don't know who that is. I will have to look that up. I don't know every history fact set.
That's your job as an historian, I thought.
I've told the story of Theodore Roosevelt stealing a boat to go fight Spaniards on Cuba on the show before, have I?
No, please.
No,
tell that
I've
story.
not told this story. Okay, that's one of my favorite stories. Theodore Roosevelt's a pretty well-known guy, of course, one of your famous presidents. But before he was president, in 1898, he was Undersecretary of the Navy. Pretty important job in Washington, right? Except war breaks out with Spain in 1898 over the island of Cuba because the USS Maine, that was in Havana Harbor at the time, blows up. Now, it was probably an accident, but at the time, the American people blamed Spanish treachery and demand war. Your president in 1898 was William McKinley, who had, to quote him, seen the dead piled up at Antietam in the Civil War and did not want to go to war because he knew that war was horrible.
I too saw the dead at Antietam, and now I have PTSD. Thanks a lot.
Theodore Roosevelt, however, really wanted to go to war for his country, but also personally. In part because he was ashamed that his father never fought in the Civil War. He then described William McKinley as having the backbone of a chocolate eclair, which is a great insult if you ask me. Proceeds to, once the war is actually declared, quit his post as Undersecretary of the Navy. Now, keep in mind, he's 40 years old at the time. He has 6 children. His wife just had a very difficult birth and is basically dying. But that's not important. Theodore Roosevelt wants to go to war. So he creates a volunteer cavalry regiment that eventually gets named Roosevelt's Rough Riders. For a while, they were called Teddy's Terrors, but apparently Roosevelt's Rough Riders is a better ring to it. This volunteer regiment includes, amongst other people, professional polo players, the amateur tennis champion of the United States, but also some like Bronco boss busters from the West and Irish cops from New York. They go to Texas to train with their horses, as you do.
Sure.
And then eventually the United States is ready to invade the island of Cuba to free the Cuban people from the tyranny of Spanish oppression. So Teddy and his guys get to Florida, from where they're going to get on boats to go to Cuba, because it's only like 90 miles away. It's pretty close. But he gets there, and the army people tell him, no. You guys are irregulars. You're volunteers. The first wave is going to be real army, not you. Theodore Roosevelt, not a guy who likes to be told no very much, proceeds to then commandeer a boat, aka steal one, which, if you know anything about the military, you're probably not supposed to do that. They get on the boat, get to Cuba. They land. They land at, I don't know. They were trying to take Santiago de Cuba, so they land over there. A bunch of horses drown because their landing goes terribly. They eventually make it to shore.
For their swimming ability,
well, the horses did have to swim to shore, so a bunch of them did drown. But we're not here for veterinary facts, Seth. We're here for history facts. So they get to shore, and then the two guys in charge of the actual U.S. Military effort on Cuba, one of them in charge of the overall effort is a general that is so obese that he cannot walk and has trouble climbing on his horse. The other guy in charge of the cavalry is so old and senile that sometimes he forgets that he's no longer fighting Yankees because he used to be a Confederate general. Teddy and his guys get into the jungle, start marching towards Santiago de Cuba, immediately fall into an ambush. A bunch of their guys get killed. Teddy kills a couple of Spaniards and then keeps the cartridges for the children. Because, I don't know, it makes sense to him. They get to a place called San Juan Hill.
Dad brought you souvenirs.
Well, his dad didn't fight in the Civil War, and he was ashamed of that, so I guess he wanted to make real sure that his children wouldn't be ashamed of him. They get to a place called San Juan Hill, which is next to Santiago de Cuba, and they have to take the hill because the Spaniards are on top of the hill. Then Teddy decides that he's going to lead the charge, but he gets a little overly excited, and he just starts running up the hill without telling his guys to follow, so only 3 of them actually follow. 2 immediately get killed. He turns around, grabs his guys, and rallies them. And he's on top of a horse the whole time, by the way. And so he's on this horse, and his guys are hunkering down because the Spanish are shooting at them. And he looks down to one of the soldiers on the ground and goes, "Aren't you ashamed to be hiding down while I'm on my horse?" Guy goes, "Yeah, I guess that makes sense." Stands up, immediately gets killed. They eventually take the hill. Long story short, Teddy's Rough Riders have the highest casualty rate of any other casualty regiment. Theodore Roosevelt, very proud of that for some reason, because it makes sense. He campaigns for the Medal of Honor, which the Army does not want to give him, because this guy's not one of them. And also, militarily, objectively, that was a terrible campaign. But then he writes a book called The Rough Riders. You could go read it. It's widely available. Don't recommend it, but you can. And in this book, it describes his adventures on the island of Cuba. One of the stories, it's probably not true, but it's a good story, we'll tell it anyway, is that the printer had to order more of the letter I because Theodore Roosevelt spoke about himself so much. So, long story short, Theodore Roosevelt has the most main character energy of anyone I've ever read about.
It does vibe very strongly with the rest of his presidency, I think, as well.
Yeah. Makes sense.
After his presidency, he goes on a safari to Africa and kills like 7,000 animals.
Yeah.
Like you do.
That's just what you do.
He loved bushcraft, going into the woods, fighting bears, I assume. I don't know.
Probably with his hands, you know.
Yeah.
Probably
You have to bite a knife while you're doing that. Like,
he probably had a Bowie knife. Yeah, that tracks.
All right. Isaac has the next question. Isaac, wasted by a squig-off tea. We're doing great things today, Isaac. How would the world-famous Medicae's Order cast feel about participating in a 40K Jeopardy-style show that I may or may not want to host? Seth, this sounds very similar to a show you kind of ran. Would you?
Yeah, except I like being the one asking the questions, not the one making up the answers. I don't.
What would you do?
I would do it. I just don't know that I would be well informed enough to answer questions if they were like in-depth lore stuff, or basic
Francois,
profiles
would you
of
do it?
my own units.
Sorry, would I what?
Would you just
Spaced out for a second.
He's still in
That's
Cuba, guys. Get him back. Get him back.
He's still in Cuba.
I was actually thinking that I might have misnamed San Juan Hill for Kettle Hill, but then I was thinking of like there's two separate.
I told you he was still in Cuba.
There's two separate battles, and it doesn't actually matter. But there's Kettle Hill and then San Juan Hill. Anyway, yes. What was the question?
Would you do a Jeopardy style 40K show?
Of course I would.
Yes.
Cool.
I did Seth's whatever it was called show for many weeks, and it was great.
It was great.
Yeah. There you go. Looking at Crusade for Crons, this is what Isaac says. You can get a Catan +1 toughness at the start of battle. And Transcendence can reroll once to hit into wound. You get +2 strength and
Jesus.
attacks and melee with lethals, and you can give them stealth. So there you go.
All of this is great. We need this in mainline competitive 40K.
Floof
I
has the
want-
last
I
real
want T12 Satan. I want Transcendence to just teleport wherever they want and have their rerolls. I want more strength. Yeah, this is great. Do it. Lethals.
Floof, #1 slop content enjoyer.
Wait a minute. I don't like that review. Floof, do better.
What's the over-under that the Tyranid Prime and Votan dude is just as cracked as Twin Lance? It's almost assuredly just under that.
It's the end of the edition. We're in
Yeah,
madness
I
land
don't.
now.
I do not see any I do not see any way you make a cracked Tyranid character at this point. It's
Yeah.
And then
That Tyranid Prime is going to be bad.
yeah, it's just gonna
Sorry.
be. It's sorry. I'm sorry, Tyranid players. And then maybe the Votan dude will be good, but I personally have to root against
No.
him because he has a dead orc on his base.
A Cuban American with history masters from Berkeley, Francois Watson, totally wrong, is a great review.
We're just racking him up tonight.
I am in fact 100% right. Now I might have chosen which parts of the story to tell for effect, but all the parts that I did tell were correct.
But then weren't you just telling us that you said the wrong name?
I got that. There's two different hills, Seth.
And then that is all of our questions. Oh, I want to ignore the Nightbringer fun fact, Isaac. Fine, because you're yelling the freaking questions. Right? Index Nightbringer was Blast, so that is why people think he has Blast. There you go. That is his fun fact about the Nightbringer for today.
Yeah, they changed there was random things over the time. They the Void Dragon used to have like a single shot spear. Now he's like D3 spear.
So the first few games that I played with Necrons, I shot one shot with the Void Dragon spear every time. That was still great.
Yeah, and then now it's 3 shots randomly when I rolled well. You're like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, when
that
you roll a
takes-
3 on those shots and you're looking at the tank and you go 2s and 2s, take all these saves.
You're like, what's the AP? And you're like 3. Sad days. Anyway, are we done? Have we entertained the masses? And
We've entertained at least 30 to 50 people.
that's good enough for me.
I'm amazed it's more than 0.
I like the degrees of answer that was from across the freaking trio.
Well,
I'm here for my own
end.
entertainment, not anyone else's.
True.
yeah, basically, I like talking to you guys.
We are on every other Monday from here
Yep.
on forwards at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, and whatever the time zone is internationally. I don't know.
There's only one international time zone.
I
They
don't know.
can do math. They can figure it out.
Figure it out.
I also didn't include Francois in the internationally, so you know.
He's American now.
Well, I'm not international. I'm not overseas, but I am international.
We did defeat Canada in hockey, therefore they are legally ours now, or something like
In
that.
both gold medal games. So
Well, at least your women's team isn't going to be at the State of the Union.
True, they did decline that invitation smartly.
Yep.
I was disappointed in the men's team today when that clip kind of came out about what they said, but neither here nor there.
You know,
Are you surprised that
Eastern is also
very
a-
rich hockey players might lean that way?
Well, it depends on your sport, is what I was reading recently. There was a study about it where they looked at the different professional athletes and they had them respond to surveys. and they determined which sports were more or less left leaning.
Yeah,
I guess it's
hockey is like in the same category as lacrosse. I'm gonna guess.
yeah, and then the NFL and the NBA was were more left leaning as sports go.
Yeah, that tracks.
On this last fact, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you for watching. Good luck at any events this weekend. Bye-bye.
Cheers to tan.
Yes.